God will save me, not you.
Not as a heretic, He won't save you.
He wants to save me, He'll save me, not you.
You admitted you're a heretic.
No, I don't admit that.
You admit that you don't believe in the traditional teaching of the Catholic Church on salvation. You only believe in the modern teaching.
Exactly, yes, exactly right.
And yet you claim to be Catholic.
Well, I am Catholic.
So you believe the Catholic Church's teaching can change?
Well, yes, it's true. I have questions about that, too. They modify them?
Well, the idea that the dogmas change with the progress of time was condemned as a heresy at Vatican I. So was Vatican I false?
Yeah, it has some weak points, I agree.
Who has weak points?
The Catholic Church.
But the Catholic Church's teachings are not weak points and cannot be weak points. Otherwise, Christ failed, which is impossible.
Brother, I'm going to give you a good way of thinking, a good thing to think about. Do you think the average woman, chambermaid, or average factory worker man has knowledgeable enough to go into all these depths of knowledge? They just know what the priest says on the pulpit every week. Or they know whatever they learn in Catholic school, right?
No, but here's the point. Even if they don't have the expertise to carry on in-depth discussions about these matters, they have an obligation to know enough of the basics that when confronted with an alien religion that contradicts basic truths of the gospel and historic teachings of Catholicism that anyone can find out about, to reject it. It's not hard to figure out that...
Some
listen,
do have that.
It's not hard to figure out that the Catholic Church traditionally condemned other religions, and that now these men embrace false religions. That is a new religion. You don't have to be an expert to figure that out. All you have to do is care a little bit. And that is a monumental change on core issues that relate to basic truths of the gospel.
Let me ask you this. Why would Benedict XVI, he was an intellectual, why would he change? Why did he choose to change?
Why would he change? Because he's a wicked man.
No, he's not. He's a wicked man. Come on. That's really a strong statement, brother. A wicked man.
In fact, the evidence is that he's the second beast in Apocalypse 13.
Think he has a mistresses?
No.
Well, then he's not a wicked man.
So if he doesn't have mistresses...
Does he do heroin?
It doesn't matter. Heretics who corrupt the faith of Christ are worse than people with mistresses. In fact, St. Thomas Aquinas points out that you're more separated from God by sins of the faith than even sexual sins.
Well, I know sexual sins aren't everything.
Right, so you just contradict yourself.
No, I know a lot of people think sexual sins are the worst sins of all, but they're not.
They're mortal, but what I'm saying to you is that denying the faith is worse, and it's even more dangerous for the souls of others because you're corrupting not only...
I know that, if that was true.
So then what's the point of what you just said?
The point is you'd have to be a research genius to get to plumb the depth of these, brother.
Not true.
Brother. To tell the truth.
Especially
you have to be a library geek and spend the rest of your life.
Not true.
How would you find out who's right and wrong?
It's simple. They teach, they write in the catechism, the new catechism. Yeah. It says that Muslims worship the one true God and other basic heresies.
Read that in the Catholic catechism?
Yes, it's there.
That the brand new one most people haven't read yet?
No, it's been out for years.
The priest just gave me the catechism.
I don't know. I mean, you're really clueless.
What passage is that?
It's the passage that's quoting Lumen Gentium, number 16.
It says Muslims Islam's a true faith.
It says Muslims, along with us, adore the one merciful God.
Well, that's true.
Mankind's judge in the last day.
Well, that's true.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Allah means God.
They don't worship the true God. It's a dogma.
That's not true, brother. I can categorically prove that if I had the time.
Go ahead.
That's wrong.
You know you're wrong.
They could be terrorists, and they could not be terrorists. Most Arabs are not terrorists, you know. But they do worship the one true God. That's a fact.
No, they don't.
Oh, yes, they do. Allah means, you know what Allah means.
It doesn't matter. Yes, I know it means God. That means nothing. That if you don't worship the Trinity, you don't worship God. God is a Trinity.
I didn't say they worship Him right. I said they worship the one true God.
No, they don't.
But they do.
No, so you're saying the Holy Trinity, whom they reject, is the same as the God they worship.
Oh, I get your point. Okay, and you know, you're getting into deep semantics and everything.
No, it's simple.
They believe in one God. You agree with that?
Yes, they do.
So if there's only one God, and there is in reality
some
only
people
one God,
who
they must worship the one true God.
Okay, so people who believe Satan is the one God, And there are people out there who believe that. They worship the same God as Catholics, right?
It would be a God with a small g, right?
Wait a second. No. It's only one God, and so they worship only one God. It's the same God, right? According to you?
There's only one true God, yeah.
Right. They don't worship him, even though they worship one God, Dagon, and actually...
Are you good in logic, brother?
Yes, I am.
The Muslims could worship wrongly the one true God. But if they worship the one true God, they worship the one true God. That's a simple fact.
If you don't...
A plus A equals B equals A.
They're actually defined in Catholic teaching as pagans.
That's not true. Muslims are not pagans. I don't agree with you.
Pope Calixtus III promulgated a whole bull to the Universal Church calling them pagans.
The whole Quran could be wrong, but they still worship the one true God.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
What?
Calixtus III promulgated a bull to the Universal Church calling the Muslims pagans.
But I disagree with that word. They're not pagans.
So you disagree with the teaching of the Church?
Yeah, I'm allowed to disagree with statements made by certain people.
Not popes and bulls to the Universal Church dealing with important matters of faith or morals.
No, with speaking ex cathedra, you mean?
Right.
The only time the Pope is infallible, which has been gotten wrong by thousands of writers, is when he's speaking ex cathedra, right?
No.
Oh, it's wrong?
He's infallible in his ordinary and universal magisterium or in his solemn magisterium.
Where did you read that? I read many times. He's
Vatican
only infallible when speaking ex cathedra.
Vatican Council I said that. But you don't believe in what popes say ex cathedra.
Yes. So how come I was taught from as a little child?
Would you admit that you don't believe in what Pope Eugene IV declared ex cathedra? That all who die as Jews go to hell?
Brother, can you really look at yourself in the mirror and say categorically that every Jewish person in the world is going to go to hell?
If he dies as a Jew.
If he doesn't convert to Christianity.
Yes.
That's not true. I believe you.
So at least be honest enough to admit that you reject what Pope Eugene IV declared ex cathedra.
Well, then I reject it.
Okay, so you would deny what the Catholic Church has declared ex cathedra.
I reject things that aren't true.
So you admit that the Catholic Church was wrong ex cathedra.
But I guess I'll have to.
Okay, so would you admit you're not a Catholic?
No, brother. Am I allowed to disagree with you? Am I allowed to disagree with you?
I can't stop you from embracing heresy.
But I accept the truth. The truth is my guide.
So therefore, you don't believe the Catholic Church's teaching is the truth.
I believe in the current Catholic Church.
Right.
You don't believe in.
So you admit that the Catholic Church does not teach the truth. So I don't know. You're just a reprobate.
If you spoke to our new Archbishop Pugh, I'm sure he would kick your butt verbally.
No, he would get destroyed.
No, well, I don't agree with you, brother. You sound like sort of nice people in a way, clean cut, but you're really mistaken.
No, Chaput knows nothing. Believes in nothing.
Who supports you people? How many of them are you?
So do you want to order the package or not? You're a waste of time to talk to.
Okay, what is it now?
Do you want to order the $20 package or not?
What's included in it?
Everything you got before, plus 2 large books. One on all the apostasy of Chaput and others, and Outside the Church There's No Salvation, a book about it.
Yeah, I'll order it.
No, you're such a liar that you admit that you reject Pope Eugene IV's infallible teaching, and yet you have the audacity to say that we contradict Catholic teaching.
Well, if he said that outside the Church there's no salvation, well, what if you count the baptism of desire? See, I really don't know if I disagree with him. I'm not sure what he meant exactly.
Of course. So Jews can be saved by baptism of desire, right? According to you.
Yeah, that's my minimum belief.
Even though they don't desire baptism, even if they reject baptism.
If they apparently it's if they subconsciously live the teachings of Jesus.
Right. There you go. There's baptism of desire again.
Yeah, that's what I believe. So I don't disagree with him.
No, you do.
Well, this is so fraud. This is why I think I'm using a strong word. You are really sick individuals. I mean, these things are really fraught subjects, brother. These are very complex subjects.
No, they're not.
But, I mean, it certainly can't go around rejecting everybody's going to go to hell. How can you do that?
We adhere to what the Church has taught. The Church has taught that people who die outside the faith go to hell. You don't believe that. Your problem is not with me. Your problem was with Jesus. That's your problem.
Well, maybe I do have some problems with some of the things Jesus said.
There you go. I mean, and so you're an antichrist.
No, I'm not an antichrist.
Yes.
I just wonder about some of the things he said.
He that believeth not shall be condemned. That's what Jesus said.
What did he say?
He that believeth not shall be condemned. Mark 16:16. That's you.
I don't know how I stand in guys' eyes, to be honest with you.
Well, I can tell you, you're a heretic.
Well, you guys, I'm sure many people think you're sick or twisted. Maybe whatever word you want to accept is not correct. How's that?
You're a guy who claims to be Catholic.
Am I correct that many people in your state think you're not correct?
Many people around the world think we're not correct.
Exactly, and I agree with them.
So what?
Brother, I'm going to let you go.
Yeah.
God bless you.